Hey, what's up guys? It's Mehdi here, and today I'm going to be going over the results of my DNA ancestry test. Now, I saw a lot of popular YouTubers doing this, and I decided to do one for myself. Well, firstly because I was really curious about what my ancestry is, and second because I've always gotten an ambiguous answer from my parents on what my DNA ancestry is. So, I never got a straightforward answer about what the origins of my ancestors were. So I decided to do one for myself because, frankly, I don't think my parents are that knowledgeable about what our background is as well, because we've been told, different stories down the line about where we're from, what our ethnicity is. But to give a little bit of a background on my ancestry, I'm originally from Afghanistan, but the way Afghanistan is, it's very ethnically diverse. So you could have somebody from Afghanistan who can be very Asian, and you can have another person from Afghanistan who can be very Caucasian, or who can be very Indian looking. See, Afghanistan is very ethnically diverse, through the course of history because we've been invaded so many times by different countries and different empires. So a lot of the people living in Afghanistan are descendants of random people throughout history that invaded the country. So it's going to be cool to find out what my ancestry is. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I got the email this morning from 23andMe saying my DNA ancestry results were ready, and I'm actually going to be going over them today. Alright, let's see this. So I've already logged in because I didn't want to show everybody my login credentials. So I see all the reports are ready, and I'm going to be going over first the ancestry, and then the second the genetic and traits. Actually, I might not go over genetic because I think that's kind of personal, but I will definitely go over traits and probably wellness. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, ancestry. So excited. I've never done this before. Oh man. So it says your ancestry reports. It says your DNA says about your origins and your ancient ancestors. So let's go ahead and click on ancestry composition. Okay. Awesome. Wow. That is crazy. It says right here that I'm 54.4% East Asian and Native American. I mean, I had a feeling that I had some East Asian in me because of Mongolia's invasion of Afghanistan, but I didn't think that my East Asian DNA was going to be that high, 54%. But technically, I'm half East Asian. Okay, let's click on it. Let's see if it, narrows it down by country. So it says 50.2% East Asian, of which 25.7% of it is Mongolian. Wow. I've read studies about people from Central Asia, like me, who did these tests, and a lot of them got less than 15% Mongolian. So I'm kind of surprised to see 25.7% Mongolian. That basically puts me at a quarter Mongolian. So I'm an Afghan with quarter Mongolian. That's crazy. I have 15.5% Yakuts. I don't know how you pronounce that. Yakut. Let me click on it. So it gives a little summary about the Yakuts. It says, the Yakuts are Turkic people that live across huge territories of eastern Russia. Originally living around Lake Baikal, Yakuts migrated north along the Lena River during the 13th century. And traditionally the Yakuts are hunters, fishermen, and herders. Yeah, I already knew I was Turkic. My parents told me I was Turkmen from Afghanistan, so that was kind of given, but I didn't really think the Turkic part was from eastern Russia. Siberia, I'm guessing, is where this is, because eastern Russia is Siberia. I assumed my Turkmen DNA was from Turkmenistan. So this is kind of weird to see different answers from what my parents told me. So it says I'm 15.5% Turkic from Eastern Russia, 25% Mongolian, and 9% broadly East Asian. So broadly, I'm assuming means pretty much every country in East Asia, you know, Japan, South Korea, China, Taiwan, etc. And then it says I'm 2.1% Southeast Asian. And it says Southeast Asia extends from Burma to Indonesia. And it says Southeast Asia is comprised of many ethnic groups. That's pretty cool to know. And then somewhere along it says broadly East Asian and Native American, 2.1%. I'm not sure if this means that I had 2.1% Native American, which wouldn't be too far-fetched because Native Americans are descended from Siberia, kind of like I am. But it does say here that I'm 9% broadly East Asian, so I'm not sure if the 2.1% is considered East Asian or Native American. Okay, so the second group is going to be Middle East and North African. It says I'm 21.2% Middle Eastern and North African. 19.6% of it is strictly Middle Eastern. And it doesn't say which country. All it says is that the Middle East is the people of Turkey, Iran, the Caucasus, and the Levant. That's kind of broad. I wish it would have, broadened it down a little bit to at least what country, but Turkey, Iran, Caucasus, and the Levant. I don't think I'm from the Levant because I think the Levant is countries like Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. I don't think I'm from there. But you could be surprised. But I have been told by some people who are from the Caucasus Mountains, the countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan, and stuff, that I kind of look Georgian. I've never met a Georgian person in my life, but I've been told I look Georgian, which is kind of crazy. So that 19.6% could be from either the Middle East, like Turkey, Iran, or the Arabian countries, or it could be from the Caucasus. So like I could be Azerbaijani or Georgian. It's kind of crazy, but I wish it would, narrow it down. It doesn't even say what country. And it seems kind of unfair because at least with East Asian, they broadened it down to Mongolian and, Yakuts. But they don't do that with the Middle Eastern. Right, next group is South Asian. Oh, right here it says South Asia is India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. And I'm only 16%, which means only 16% of my DNA is from Afghanistan. That's kind of crazy. Both my parents are from Afghanistan. My grandparents were from Afghanistan. I'm 100% positive my great-grandparents were from Afghanistan. But it says I'm only 16% Afghan. That's crazy. That means I'm less than a quarter Afghan. Wow, that's insane. But then again, going back to the whole Afghanistan being ethnically diverse thing, for all I know, like, this whole entire thing could be Afghan, because Afghan DNA is not strictly South Asian. It's some Mongolian, some Macedonian from the time of Alexander the Great, it's some Arabs from the Islamic conquest of Afghanistan, it's some Persian from, Afghanistan and Iran have a lot of, linguistic and ethnic origins that are linked together, so it's a pretty big mix. So I'm 16% South Asian, and then it says I'm 1.5% Southern European. Actually no, it says 1.5% European, and 0.7 of it is Southern European. So 0.2 is from the Balkans. I'm not sure where the Balkans are. Let me just Google this real quick. Balkans. So Wikipedia says, oh, I see Siberia is included in the Balkans. So it says the Balkans is a geographic area in southeastern and eastern Europe with various and disputed borders. Now, which countries are in the Balkans? That's kind of, not stated. So Bulgarian, Macedonian, Serbian, Croatian, Slovenian, Bosnian, Romanian, Albanian, Greek, and Turkish. I have a feeling that my Balkan DNA is either from Macedonia or Turkish. So I highly doubt I have Romanian or Bosnian in me. Because the Macedonians did invade Afghanistan like in 300 BC, I believe. And the Turkish people, I am Turkic, so that could be a possible link. That's crazy, Let's gonna get to the next part. It says 0.2% Iberian. I think Iberia would be southern Europe, but specifically Spain and Portugal, yeah. It says Peninsula of Iberia is Spain and Portugal. I don't know how I got Spain and Portugal in me, but, people back then moved around a lot, so I probably have, well, I do have Spain and Portugal, but it's very little. And then the rest of it is broadly European, so that could be anywhere from Europe, so broadly European, if 0.7 of it is the Balkans and Iberian and Southern Europe, the 0.8% could be anywhere from Britain, or it could be like Ukrainian for all I know. So it's just broadly European. And then the last 6.9% is unassigned, which means they couldn't map down they couldn't map down the last 6.9% of my DNA. Just kind of crazy. But, that concludes it for my ancestry test. I'm 54.4% East Asian and Native American. I'm 21.2% Middle Eastern and North African. I'm 16% South Asian, and I'm 1.5% European. Pretty diverse mix. I pretty much hit the entire Asia, Middle East, East Asian, Southeast Asian, and South Asian. That's pretty much the entire part of Asia. I even hit Siberia, which is Eastern Russia, which is the Asian part of Russia. So you can say I'm pretty much, mixed.